Welcome to my replay viewers. This is Ryan Miller from Parent Dome. I wanted to put my catch me /parent_dome reference for those that wanted to get some more insight on what I've been talking about for the past month on Periscope about keeping kids safe on the internet. And that knowledge and their use of technology does not come with the wisdom of using the technology. So welcome. My regular followers, appreciate the love. And those that you are new for me, this is what I talk about. My scopes are all about keeping kids safe on the internet. And I'm hoping today we have a better connection because the last 2 days we've been plagued with some connection issues. So if I can get some confirmation other than hearts that you guys can hear me, it's not jittery, that would be very helpful. AO9, welcome. Thanks for coming. Richard, good morning, my friend. Hope you're having a delightful day. I got your stuff. And David Sinclair, I'll tell you about David Sinclair. Pretty interesting story about that person. So I talk about how to keep kids safe on the internet. Thank you very much, Ms. Watkins. I appreciate that. And if this is a message that resonates with you, that you want to learn and more about the risks and how to provide safety for your kids connected on the internet, great. Glad to hear that. Chemo, thanks for that. I just ask that you share this with people because I really want to get this message out far and wide about how to be aware of these challenges, but you're seeing a message later. Oh, no, we're good. So, oh my gosh, it's like the connection's going wonky again. I hope this is okay. So yesterday was a very busy scope day. One, I had a lot of phone calls, webinars, a lot of crazy things happening. My involvement in conversations with the police, conversations with the FBI, conversations I had with another, as I say, alphabet company of our federal government in the U.S., and then the meeting I was called to on an urgent basis within our local school system because there is an epidemic within the schools, and they found out of me through social media and other means that I am casting this message. They've gone back and gone through my periscopes. They've checked me out. They've gone to my site and they say, holy smokes, this guy knows what he's talking about. And humility aside, I've done a tremendous amount of research on this topic. So the purpose of this scope is to talk about this new trend that is happening on social media platforms that I was aware of, but I didn't know that it actually had a name identified to it. And it's a phenomenon that is happening on Periscope and other live streaming media. It's happening on other social media platforms, and it's called swarming or flooding. This is where a group of people that want to, do I still have connection, or did it crap out on me? I'm hoping this didn't crap out again. Can somebody give me some hearts just to indicate that I still have a connection, because it's kind of bizarre. I'm not seeing any hearts. Maybe this is going to be one of those darn replay messages. Shoot. Well, anyway, the issue is about swarming and flooding, that a group of kids, or adults in some cases, yeah, that's a weird one heart. I'm not sure this is working. Group of kids get together and identify a target. They identify one. Oh, very good. Thanks, Fran. That's going weird. It's very bizarre. They identify one target, one particular kid, and they all join around in social media, whether it be through live streaming, whether it be through social media, or it be through video games. It doesn't matter. Oh, there's a huge lag. That's kind of bizarre. There's something going on with Twitter and Blab, and it's just very weird how there's this lag for the past couple of days, and it's not just my scopes, it's other people's scopes. So they go and they rally all these people, and they storm or bombard this person, and believe it or not, their tags or their identifiers or their handles or whatever you want them whatever to call them are similar in name. So that they group together, they create an anonymous handle, and the names are very, very close, and they just flood comments or they flood social media, and they just bombard an individual with just either vile text or vile images. And because it happens so fast and so many things are happening, you can't block fast enough in a live streaming mode. You can't delete fast enough in other social media platforms. It's just this overwhelming They call it a swarm or a tidal wave. Your tidal wave of all this negative stuff happening on the kids. And that was one of the reasons that I was called in to find my experience in having seen that kind of behavior. And absolutely I have. That I participated on Scope, and I've seen 6, 7, 8, 10 people with a similar Twitter handle come in and just flood me that you can't block through all this stuff. So they hijack your broadcast, and they're just constantly coming in with all this nasty stuff. So they find somebody, they go and they all coordinate their efforts, and they share this message with their friends, and then bam, they come in and just overwhelm you with this deluge of hatred. It's horrible. So they wanted to get my assessment on that. The other issue that they had that was important was actually somebody who follows my Periscopes has been communicating with me through email with a very hard personal life story, but is kind of an advocate like some of you others on here about how to keep kids safe on live streaming platforms, Periscope, Meerkat, or what have you. In school, out in public, inappropriately scoping. Now, and this person shared with me this young person's Periscope profile, and I went and saw some scopes, and then she had apparently, the person that follows me, and if a kid don't tell about he is suffering bullying, why I discover. I'm not sure I understand that. Bullying, we want to be aware of how kids are being bullied, so as parents we can help the child not be bullied and also build the resilience to reject the bullying. But that's a parental conversation. So this person, as an advocate, contacted the school where this live streaming was to inform the school that this behavior was going on. And we all know that if we interact with the child directly and tell them about turn off your location settings, you're going to get rebuked by the child. They're going to block you. They don't want to be exposed for what they're doing as being wrong. They don't want to be called attention to. And it's a very difficult thing, but the one stage is to try to interact with the child directly and make them aware of the warnings. Do it in love, not judgment. Try to use words that you can maintain the communication as long as you can before they're going to go and block you, because we can only do what we can do. And then the other piece is if you are so inclined to take it another level and see if there's a way to inform parents. But in this situation, this young girl that one of the followers had alerted the school, that video that happened no far. Yeah, I did see that, Richard. I'll talk to you about that in a second. So communicated with the school. The school went and approached the girl. Then the girl did a scope after that, talking about how she was caught and identified and was calling foul on the person who informed on her and whatever. That doesn't mean anything to me, her complaining that she got caught. But she did a subsequent scope, and she brought her mom into the Periscope. And they were talking. She was all relieved that her mom was like, oh, yeah, you can keep Periscoping. And the mom is completely ignorant. The mom, even on the video, had suggested in front of her daughter that how about she flash herself on Periscope. And I'm thinking, this is a bunch of idiocy, that the mother is promoting her own self-exposure on Periscope. So I'm in the process of downloading that Periscope as another teaching tool to show how broken people's thinking is. That this mother was also inviting horrible behavior by her own self. Her own efforts were trying to invite creepy stuff to happen. But anyway, I go off topic all the time. So this is about keeping kids safe on the internet, and these additional things that I learned and put words around this behavior that happens on the social media and the live streaming platforms. And I always talk about the internet being of permanence, that anything that happens on this internet is absolutely permanent. Delete doesn't exist. And as parents, we want to focus on increasing our awareness, providing oversight on what kids are doing, and then yes, she did. The mom, it was on the video. The daughter's got the screen on her. She flips the screen around to her mom. mom's making some comments to hi to the people that are following her daughter, and then she said, the mom said, should I flash them? And said something to the effect, can they hear me? And the daughter said, yeah, oh, they can totally hear you, Mom. We're broadcasting. Like the mom doesn't know what a broadcast means. What does that word mean? It's just horrible. And my conversation last night with the various officials and let's just call it various officials in the school administration are stating what an epidemic this was. Now, there were a few other people in there that I did not identify. I didn't know them, and I was pulled off to the side to have a private conversation, and there were like prying eyes and ears into this private conversation because of some of the efforts that people have done on my Periscope and informing me have had me look more detailed in my local area. So I have advocates that are local that the red dot that identifies the geographic, the GPS location, well, you don't have to have those activated. And when they are not activated, the only people that are informed that you are scoping is if you are a friend of somebody scoping. So not everybody does any backtracking or checking on who they follow. So I have friends and parents that are moving into the network of the school system with the students that are broadcasting, that are not using their location settings. How guide her son? The mom is parents often ignore things that are uncomfortable to address. That's just kind of part of human nature. If it's going to cause conflict between a child, they're not going to address it head on. They're going to avoid it until a problem manifests itself, and then they will address the problem. Proactive parenting has been replaced by reactive parenting because parents are under the assumption nothing bad is going to happen, and I'll address it when it does happen. And that's representative of not just my findings, it's representative of the connectedness of parents in the educational community. It's the connectedness of what the CNN interview did, being 13, that 94% of parents think their kids are safe on the internet. That is a complete avoidance delusion of the reality in which parents know. It's like humans know inherently the difference between right and wrong. We know it. Our body rejects things which are wrong just physiologically. So that statement, 94% of parents think their kids are safe, is a lie for the parents because they know it's bad and their body would physiologically react to that. My gosh, that darn delay. So this may be a replay view for some reason. I don't know what's happening with Periscope. It happened yesterday too. So that was my point earlier, that parents are just not connected and they are not going to address the issues until they pop up later. And that's a reoccurring theme. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this scope to an end because I think that the signal lag is just intolerable, and I've just noticed things dropping way off. So I will hopefully we'll get a better connection later, and you can catch this on replay. And I will be doing another scope after lunchtime because I have a bunch of things that are happening this morning, which I will probably want to report up on Periscope. So very good, guys. Thanks for the hearts. Richard, I'll be on a Pure.in with the Dancing Dinos in just about 5 minutes. I don't know where you are. It is, it's probably after lunch for you, so you're still at work. So we'll check you soon. Take care.